Welcome to Punky's Pro Wrestling. Excuse me, allergy season. I have a ton of wrestling news. So, WWE has released a ton of wrestlers. I don't even have them all listed here. And I don't know who most of them are. Don't recognize the names. They haven't been on pay-per-view or anything, so. But the ones, well, I'll read you the list that I have here. Then I'll kind of talk about the ones that are sticking out to me. Braun Strowman, Katana Chance, Shayna Baszler, Kaden Carter, Dakota Kai, Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, Jakara Jackson, Eddie Thorpe, Riley Osborne, Shotzi, and there's a ton more. That I haven't even listed. Now, the ones that stand out to me, obviously Braun Strowman, Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai. I do know who Gigi Dolan is a little bit. Shotzi, obviously. They haven't been using Baszler at all. They were using her, and she was actually really good. So, Braun Strowman, that came as a big shock to me. They're saying that he was released because his salary was too high for the work. I don't understand that, but okay. Like he had a high salary for what he was doing? I don't know. Not that he was doing anything wrong, but for the work that they were giving him, just wrong, in my opinion. Shayna Baszler, like I already talked about that. Dakota Kai, she was part of a faction. But unfortunately, they kind of focused on Io Sky and didn't focus on her. That's not her fault. I don't know much about Gigi Dolan, I just know the name. Shotzi, again, was part of that same faction. Yikes. And there were a bunch more. And there's one that left, which I put separately because it wasn't a part of the mass releases. TNA bans blading going forward. That's not a bad idea. They've got one more match coming up that they're going to allow it for, and then going forward, they're not going to allow it anymore, which is good. Logan Paul wants to wrestle John Cena. Good luck with that, Logan. I don't think that's going to happen. Certainly not for the title. Although he did wrestle for the title one other time. But he's not ready, in my opinion. Is he a decent worker? Yeah, he is, actually. He works his ass off. Which surprised me. I have to admit that. I don't like his attitude. And I'm not talking about wrestling persona. I'm talking about in general. I just don't like it. And he comes across, and maybe it is wrestling. I don't know, but even everything he does, he comes across smug, and he comes across like he's better than you. And I don't like it. But I also don't think that he's ready for the world title. He needs to have more experience. Like I said, he's working his ass off. His matches have been top tier. I am going to change your battery. Hold on a sec. Now, do I think the match would be good? Yeah, I think it would be a hell of a match. I just don't think he's ready for a world title. I really don't. But that's my opinion. Right, there we go. A little bit of history was made on AEW. Toni Storm cut an incredible promo. I guess her promos have been on point. And she said, I'm here and I'm queer. She had come out in 2021 as being bisexual. This, however, was a first on a national wrestling program to just proudly announce it. Sorry. I have to see what that message is. Probably garbage, but yeah, it's garbage. Well, one of them was. One of them wasn't, but I already answered that one. That was just someone else answering it in our text loop, our group text. Oops. Okay. I went to read my notes upside down. I'm not a 2-year-old. I did. I literally had it in my hand upside down and that doesn't look right. Because there's a lot of news. In other AEW news, Swerve Strickland, the first AEW Black World Champion, he enjoyed the Iron Claw, Queen of the Ring. He wants to see focus on black wrestlers and their struggles in the territories and more about the territories in upcoming biopics about wrestling. So I'm just excited that they're actually focusing on wrestling and these things. I just wish my dad were here to see it, you know? He would have loved the Iron Claw. Are you kidding me? We would have gone and seen it together, for sure. Queen of the Ring, he would have loved that too. Mom might have even actually liked that. She might have liked the Iron Claw. Who knows? In TNA news, Frankie Kazarian lost in his bid to become TNA champion. And TNA has 2 new VPs. They've not said what they're going to be vice presidents of, but they were people within the company who were given promotions. One of which was the head of social media. So, head of media, not social media, media. Dixie Carter's said to be very happy about their promotion. So, here's the other one that left WWE but was not in the cuts. His contract expired and he chose not to resign. That is Shinsuke Nakamura. That's a shock. Now, will he sign with AEW or TNA? I doubt it. I think he'll go back to Japan, but Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff. If you could unweld their lips from each other's asses for a minute, then maybe they could see that this is a bad idea. They're starting a new wrestling promotion called Real American Freestyle. They somehow want to mix amateur wrestling and the pageantry and the theatrics and the what do you call it? Charisma in professional wrestling with an amateur style of wrestling. Good luck with that. It's supposed to start later this year. And the Royal Rumble 2026 is to take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Crown Jewel, however, for the first time since its inception, will not be in Saudi Arabia. It will be in Perth, Australia, where they will be the 10th, 11th, and 13th of October. Samoa Joe is to take on Jon Moxley for the AEW Championship at Beach Break. Go Joe. Not that I have anything against John, I just like Joe. That was a lot of news. Because there is a lot of news. Now, I'm freezing. I have a window open. Excuse me. It's just not that cold. Anyway. I mean, it is May. So, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. And just so you know, I know the cuts in WWE seem drastic. They even cut some office employees. They do it every quarter. Oh, I forgot to mention that there is some rumor going, swirling that AJ Styles' contract is coming up and that he may actually go to AEW. It's definitely a possibility because he won't go back to TNA after the way they treated him, trying to cut his pay by 60%. Because Tony Khan can afford to pay him. And as people pointed out, there are dream matches for him there. I mean, he has said he'll retire in WWE, but I don't know that he will. In my opinion, they've not been using him. Even when he came back from his injury. A loss against Logan Paul at the last pay-per-view. Yeah. I think it's a possibility. He wants to retire by 50, which is the first time I've heard that. What I heard was he wanted to retire once he paid off his house. That was his plan. Pay off your house and retire. Now they're saying he said by 50 to Chris Van Vliet. And WWE guys don't usually talk to Chris, which also kind of made me go, huh? Because Chris worked for AEW, which I didn't know. But he's talked to Chris before as an independent. And he has talked to him since he was in WWE, but not for a very long time. So, But they have to get permission to do these interviews, so I don't know. But like I said, thank you for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you on Wednesday for Dark Side of the Ring, Billy Jack Haynes. I hope you'll join me for that. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 30 by the 4th of July. If we get to 50, I'll be ecstatic. We're trying to get to 300 on Punky's World and 500 on Kid Missing TV. And don't forget to join me on both of those channels for my videos today. Thank you so much. Bye guys. God bless you.